just throw them all away. The only thing you need right now is a Fender amp.
Oh.
Stop the search, stop the presses. We'll talk about why this might be right for you, why it might not be. Stay tuned. Hey, it's me, Baxter.
And me, Jonathan.
Again, coming at you hardly and barely.
Hardly fast.
Casino guitarsy. So we play lots of amps. We love amps. They're fun. They're exciting. I have a really expensive amp fetish taste.
You do?
I love everything from Two-Rocks to Bensons to Cars to Magnetones to all those strange and squirrely things. But when it all comes down to it, Fender still reigns king.
Yes.
Now, does it sound the best? Maybe.
Sounds pretty good.
Pretty darn good.
Sounds pretty good.
We were well. Let's just get into it first. We had a show last night.
Yep.
You know, like we were, you know, there was a Blues Junior, right?
There was indeed.
And then there was a Quilter. The Blues Junior dominated the Quilter sonically.
I mean, not even, and it's one of those things where, like, if you heard the Quilter by itself, alone, like, yeah, it's fine. It's pretty good. Just like an amp. I mean, it is an amp. It's almost like a real amp.
Almost.
But then you play it beside something with the old tubes cooking.
It's funny how far we've gone and how far we have to look back to still get the best tone. It's unbelievable. But that's like besides point. When we've been watching lots of touring artists that are sort of in the sort of made it coming up phase, it's Fenders. Because well, let's just start with the tone. We know it. It works well with pedals. It's clean. It's pure. It's kind of pristine. You can get a little dirty if you need it to be, but that's what pedals sort of handle the job.
I mean, it seems to me nothing is as like blank a canvas as a good Fender amp, right? Because you can play a Marshall or like a Magnetone or something Marshall-y.
Or Vox.
Vox, and it does this amazing thing, but it does that thing, right? And Fender kind of does everything if you got a few pedals.
And I think, and funnily, like the sound-wise, like Fender's sound is sort of what we all first heard in the birthplace of rock and roll. It's like that's the Twin, the Deluxe, and the Princeton. That's sort of what we have known to sort of paint off of, and then everything else has been sort of a copy of that.
Yeah.
You know, but let's get into number two. It's reliable. It's a workhorse tank. Those things, they don't really break.
They very rarely break.
I guess don't really is not true.
And I'm going to say it's not only reliability, it's replaceability.
Smart. Touche, my friend.
Because wherever you are, there's one somewhere nearby, you know what I mean? I mean, you can go grab one. And I mean, not like you couldn't buy another Two-Rock, but first off, it's really expensive. Secondly, it's probably not in stock anywhere. You know what I mean?
No, like the great thing about Fenders, let's say even at all the stores you're nearby, you're on tour and you can't find one, someone's going to have one in that town you can borrow. How many Hot Rod Deluxes are out there in the universe?
Yeah, I mean, there are
dozens.
At least dozens upon dozens. What I mean, there's a reason why all the backline amps that you ever play, they're almost always Fenders, and they're either a Hot Rod or they're like an old Twin or something.
The Hot Rod Deluxe, the Hot Rod DeVille, the 410s is a common choice. You see a Deluxe a lot too. I use a Deluxe with the backline shows that I book over at Pinehurst. Mm-hmm. That's the most requested amp because it's just most places have them. It's affordable-ish, and it's the sound is consistent. A Hot Rod Deluxe sounds like a Hot Rod Deluxe across the board. I
mean, you know how much I love my Magnetones, and I don't have any plans to get rid of those. And there's other amps I still love, but I feel the hole where I have no Fender amps at the moment, and I've been on a Tweed kick.
The Tweeds are frustrating.
I tried to make a trade the other day for a Bassman.
Really?
Tweed Bassman, yeah.
Did not work?
Didn't work out.
Facebook?
Yeah. It wasn't one on Facebook. Yeah. It wasn't even hand-wired. It was just a regular old, just like what we have, the 59 lacquer Tweed LTD.
Those are great amps.
The leather handle?
Yeah.
Early serial number?
Oh, I don't know. No, I didn't do that one. I saw that one. It wasn't that one.
No, this wasn't a vintage one.
This guy still had the little thing on top telling you how to get the Chicago blues tone. But
I mean, that's useful.
It just sounds
I really
good.
enjoy those. Well, it does, and I'm a reverb guy. I love reverb. But when I play the Bassman, the reissue even, I'm shocked at how I don't feel like I need reverb. I'm okay.
It's something about those 4 speakers, like they have this twirly thing they do. It's amazing. But I also Super. We got a guy message us today about a super reverb, and my wheels in my brain were turning. And I was like,
We
oh,
have
God.
a super reverb coming in because Big Larry's doing a trade, I think.
Oh,
So stay tuned.
like an old one or a new one?
A new reissue-ish, so.
This was like a 74 in our
Okay.
emails. We'll talk about it. We'll look at it.
That's tough too. No, but I mean, obviously, replaceability. We're backtracking. Findability, but sound it's kind of unreal, and the fact that we've grown up knowing how the tones work on them.
I think that's a big part of it, right? Like, there's no curve. Like, there was a curve for me when I got, the M80, when I had the Super 15 for a little bit. There's a curve that I feel like sometimes I'm still figuring out, how do I run this amp?
I have that with the Two Rocks right now. Like, because I love Two Rocks. I think they're fantastic, but there is, and then like the car, I play I play a Mercury, one of the newer ones in my apartment, and I just sort of have a setting I leave it on because I'm scared to mess with some of it. Because like I've done the attenuator and that's pretty easy, but like when you start like the sort of pre-built-in channel jumping and that's with switches, I'm like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to get lost. I like the sound I have right now, just not breaking up much at all, clean on the edge of something grumpy. That's what I call it.
I mean, but a Fender, an older, wiser player once told me on a Fender, you just put everything to 6, and you're happy. And you can't really go wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, you can tweak and you can mess around, you can get different tones. But I mean, if someone said, hey, you got to go play on stage right now, you have no sound check, you can't test anything. I just want a Fender amp because I can look at it and be like, okay, I want these.
Well, if I had I'm saying, like, if I had no pedals and I had to play a show immediately, Hot Rod Deluxe. So I could have the overdrive, and I could have just the clean. That's great. If I had all my pedals or something that I was going to use, like the Deluxe Reverb probably is the choice.
If I knew I had humbuckers and I knew that I could turn it way up, I'd be fine with the Hot Rod. I mean, Deluxe Reverb, just because.
Yeah, if you turn it up, but we can't ever do that.
I know.
No,
I'm just saying. One of the best tones I ever had though was one of the '68 custom Deluxe Reverbs in my Les Paul. Just turned up to like amp up to like 5 or 6.
Well, that's got the sort of the basement stack built into it. The different mod. You got reverb on both channels.
Yeah.
It's and now that they have the Tone Master Pro out right now, which is their sort of modeling thing as well, but it's all going back to the classic.
It's greater than any tube amp ever made.
Or it does what it does. But it's hard.
It is, and I still say, I mean, people will be like, you guys just love Fender, and we do, that's true. But if I was going to buy a modeler right now, that's the one I'd buy.
What my son was asking is like, what's your favorite brand? I was like, Fender. It's just, even though like we have issues with some of the stuff they come out with, don't love it all. But that,
of course not.
How can you? It's like that's like the saying, like you love everything your wife says,
or like all the Star Wars movies,
or the majority of them at this point. Because I consider myself a Star Wars fanatic.
Started in a great place.
But God, it's funny though, because like with Star Wars, sorry, we got jump ship. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I feel like this is relevant. It's relevant.
No, because we all hated the prequels for so long, and now like they're almost endearing, and I like them. It's Revenge of the Sith is pretty freaking awesome.
I almost feel like there are guitar products like that too, though. You look back and you're like, this is pretty cool. Maybe even Hot Rod Deluxes are like that. For a while, I was like, eh.
Or Fender with lace sensors.
Yeah.
Like those are like, ugh, we all hated those for a long time, and now they're sort of not in vogue yet, but like when you play one, you're
like a retro, cool.
Yeah, it does something different. It's like a fake Les Paul had a baby with the Fender there, and we got something cooking.
Or like Derek's cool Clavin Strat. Like when I played that thing when he got at the Blues Jam, I was like, okay.
With a little boost in it?
Yeah, dude. It's just awesome.
It is. It's like you feel like you're just the king of the castle when you do that. I love it.
It's true.
It's unbelievable. So if you're sitting there having dinner, lunch, snacks, a yogurt parfait, and you're sort of pondering, it's like, which one is a quagmire? I just don't know what I want to do. Like, you can't go wrong with a Fender.
You cannot go wrong with a Fender.
We don't care where you get it from. Just get it from one of your local retailers.
I mean, you could get it from us.
You could get it from us, but we sell out of them a lot. And,
yeah.
But if you don't want to get it from us, don't get it. But go get it from one of your retail shops that you love, or one that you've been thought about trying to love a little bit. And you haven't loved them yet. You just want to kind of like put your arm up on them.
It's good.
Do a little rubby rub. It's very doable.
I just want to say that I played a guitar solo sitting in Baxter's lap last night in front of live people. It's true.
We did have a moment.
There's pictures of it.
They're going to be on the internet somewhere, probably.
They probably are. I don't know. When you touched me, it just brought back. I had a little shiver.
It was strangely like reminiscent of you on Broadway, I imagine, like with like
It was.
a beautiful
It
sort
was.
of strange looking woman that you would go over and sort of flirt with.
Yeah.
It just happened to be
Except
me.
it was you. You were front row.
That was a good moment.
You were the
I
front
even got my
row.
wife
It
to
was.
sing.
It was. You did.
That was really
She
good.
did a good job.
I think she did great.
She did a great job.
I didn't think she was going to do it. I thought she was trying to
Nope.
like hide and do her job
was-
and stuff.
nope.
It's like no.
It's very good.
Derek almost had to sing, but he snuck away.
You can be mayor and still let your hair down. Still have a
You
good
can
time.
let your hair down a little bit. I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
So let your hair down. Check out a Fender. If you got questions on them, shoot Johnny an email. I just don't know how to answer emails anymore. I'm too old. Give him a call. Ask for Johnny.
Probably answer.
Ask for Sean. Ask for Dylan. Ask for James.
Or call. Or call us.
Yeah, just call us. We like to talk about Fenders. And if we're not helping you find one, we can help you find where they are. That's it. I think we're going to go now. So enjoy the journey. Find the Fender that's right for you.
There's no wrong.
There's no wrong answer. You might need more than one. I do.
Probably.
So on that, skip to the loo, click like, subscribe,
Hit the bell.
and peace be with you all.
Those bell-like Fender tones.
Ooh, that was nice.